It's Keeping It Real Fishing here out on the water. So let me just give you a quick synopsis here. It's 2022, it's May 2nd. These conditions, look around, you see this cloudiness and this drizzle? This is the exact same kind of conditions that I had on May 6th of 2018, which is when I caught a giant that I've been searching for years. 7 pounds, 15 ounces. Weighed on 2 scales. I wish it was 8, but it wasn't. And that came from here, and that was 4 years, and what would that be? About 3 days ago. We have, just circumstantially, this is the day that I took off. I didn't take off because of the weather, it's just aligning that way. I was off this day, the conditions are the same, we're 4 years out and only 4 days apart, and I'm here, and I'm chucking my big stuff looking for that big bite. Now, 4 years ago, that came on a pretty modest sized bait. That was a Shell Cracker G2 from Black-billed Baits, which is only a 4-inch bait. So that never escapes me here. I always keep tally of what my biggest fish come on. And some lakes, some of the big fish respond better to kind of mid-sized lures than the real giant lures. For instance, I've never got a fish here. Never got a fish on a depths 250. Hasn't happened. But I have gotten a good number of fish on things like the 8-inch Huddleston and the 8-inch Real Prey. So anyway, and that's this. Let's roll into that. That's what I'm going to be throwing today, guys. Things in the soft bait category, things in the 6-inch size, like there's the HUD 68 Special. Like I just mentioned, 8-inch trouts from Real Prey, Huddleston, stuff like that. And then I have a wake baits. I'm going to do some wake baits in these still areas, kind of close to cover, the trees and the shorelines. And then lastly, jigs. I have some generic jigs, and then I also have some very realistic looking jigs. So I'm messing around with that Chase Baits Mud Bug, and I've been very pleasantly, not surprised, but just very content with it, I guess you could say. Anyway, guys, let's see. Let's see if perhaps 4 years almost to the day, if I can get an East Coast giant. We shall see. What's up with the focus? Hello. Just having a hard time with this mist. Water temps of just shy of 51. It's definitely colder this year than it has been in years past. Years past we'd be usually about like 54 to 56 right now. And those couple degrees make a big old difference in terms of these, where the largemouth, if they're up or not. That's pretty much the thing. You get into that 54, 55, you'll see them shallow, start pushing. Not there just yet. I mean, maybe a few are, but it's not their go-to yet. All right, guys. We're rocking the HUD 68. We're going to switch it up a little bit in profile. We're going to go to the Real Prey gill. What a lure, huh? calls for a cookie. So out here on the water with the fins, the wind tamer, no fade braid, and I meant to put this on last night. I don't like taking time out to re-spool on the water, but it is what it is. And you know what I'm just noticing? Check this out. This matches. Look at that. The green and the black, green and the black. That's what it's going on. It's going on my Daiwa Ryoga 2020. And anyway, so I'm going to be spooling it up right here, right now, and putting this line to the test starting today. All right, let's get it on. Well guys, I'm taking the time out here to do this. I'm re-spooling. I had 60, the reason for it is this, I had 65-pound braid on there. It was Tough Line, that Force. It's like the number 4, O-R-C-E. And I really, really like it. I've always liked the Tough Line XP, and I wanted to see if there's any real difference in the Force. I don't know, it seems just as good to me. I really liked it. But that 2020, that Ryoga 2020 has a pretty shallow spool. And there was a couple casts where the wind got behind me, and I actually took it all the way down and it hit my knot. And I'm just lucky that the knot held and I didn't lose my lure. So, you know, you never want to take it down that far. So that's why I'm scaling down here. I'm going from 65 to 50. And that should give me the buffer I need to give me the longest of casts and not take it all the way down to the spool. Alright guys, tying on yet another leader. Every leader I tie on, I think maybe that's going to be the one. Gotta tie those knots perfectly, man. Perfectly. You have that adjoining knot. Some people don't trust them. You can absolutely trust them. But you gotta tie that thing perfectly. Alright, no rushing here. Time for one more leader. Maybe this will be the one that catches the giant. Alright guys, so just re-spooled the Ryoga here. I got that new Fins Wind Tamer Pitch Black. Allegedly doesn't fade. I stepped down from 65 to 50 just so I could have enough on the spool, as I've probably mentioned in the edit. And that's going to a 20-pound Seaguar Braze X leader. We're going to check the real prey, 7 3/4. See, that one's got some chew marks on it. And that's nice. I got a lot of line left now. It's good. That was a pretty long cast. What a jump. What is that? That's almost a 40-foot jump. Alright guys, tying on the, I should say clipping on Matt Lures hard gill 3-piece. That's in a mossy back color. You can see it's like a really bright yellowish kind of chartreuse, light green. A lot of pop in the color there, red belly. And this is my only one in a super slow sink. I thought I would only like the color in stained water, but I've been doing very well in it, and I've just come to be comfortable in new territory. I usually like to err on the side with my natural looking lures. I like to err on the side of very, very natural looking colors, which of course Matt has. This is a bright color, and he does have some others, but I usually stayed away from those. I've done really well in this color. Or maybe it's the fact that it's a super slow sink, and I do crawl it really slow. That might have a lot more to do with it. Alright guys, I've been on this stretch before with this lure, but it is what it is, right? It's a good stretch, and it's a good lure. So, let's see if anybody's here today. This day is absolutely amazing. I'm hearing, and because it's so calm, because a couple times I've been out recently, it's been very windy and rainy, but I can hear splashes all the way across the lake, and I'm able to do that. So it's cueing me off as to the level of topwater activity. So there is some, which is good. And I'm also trying to take note of how far out it is. So I just saw one pretty strong surface at the edge of that tree line. The edge of that tree line is probably in 25 to 30 feet of absolute water. But I have an idea to bring some very, very subtle floating lures along the edge of that tree line. I have a floating soft bluegill, and I think maybe like very subtle is the name of the game today. I mean, even like a quiet wake bait is just crazy loud when the water is this still. We'll see. But but I still feel confident of what I'm doing here. This is the real prey gill, 6.5 inch. And I'm just crawling them up this rock wall. Got it. I think that's a giant smallie. It is. Whew. Guys, I think that's a new PB smallie on the real prey. Look at her. Trying to get that gill. Man. Guys, that's a big smallie. My biggest is a 5'3". I think that's going to be close. Good Lord. Okay. Let's take a look, shall we? Look at how how she inhaled that real prey. Fat, healthy. Let's see what we got. Alright guys, man, that was a nice bite. Okay, that's what's up right there guys, that is what's up. Okay, healthy smallie right there on the real prey gill. Bam. Let's see, that could be a new PB for me. 5.3 is my PB out of here, out of this lake. Hold on. Alright, what do we got? No way it's the same. 5.2. 5.2 and 7/8. Damn near the same exact weight. Man, that's what's up. 5.2 smallie on the real prey. Gotta love it. Look at that thing, man. Whew. Snag a couple more picks here. Just gonna hook her up to the donkey leash right quick. Alright guys, so I got that fished out here on the Cal Coast, that donkey leash, just continuing to test, make sure this thing is trustworthy. There she goes. Alright, so she's got her oxygen. We're going to get a length, a girth, and a picture. First things first, let's get that pick while we're getting the length. Alright guys, 20.5 inches. Let's see what we could do. There we go. There she goes. 1, 2, 3 back in the water. Took her a second. She got her energy. I love this system, man. I love having the way to retain those fish when you're on the small boats like the kayaks or the canoes, and you catch a really good fish and you want to document it, you know. And if you do want to get that length and that width and to get your pictures, and that's a sizable amount of time out of water, not good for the fish. But I'm just doing 1 or 2 things here. I'm getting a quick pick, putting her back in the water. I'm getting my length and my girth back in the water. You know, I don't want to keep her out for more than like 30 seconds and then it's back in the water. Gorgeous, gorgeous fish. The only thing second to beating a PB is matching a PB. And that's what I come here for, is these giant fish. trophy bass baits. I forget exactly what it's called. They made this, I think it was 2 or 3 years ago. This is the bluegill, and it's a floater. And I love it because it's a floating soft bait. It's got a pendulum, Huddleston-esque tail. And you look at it, you could just cruise it across the top. No click or clack of like a wake bait. Just one treble hanging down. The slowest retrieve gets that tail kicking. And this is precisely what I got it for, is very, very still conditions. Right here, even in that little bit of chop there, I don't think it's ideal. But if you have conditions like this where it's overcast and you think the fish are liable to come up, but it's just really slick. And I've heard, I'm probably up to like 6 or 7 topwater explosions that I've heard at the outer edges of these trees. And it's actually pretty deep. Where the farthest trees out are, those trees are in about 25 to 30 feet of water. So I'm guessing that those bass are kind of just suspending there, and when they see something kind of near the top, they're coming up and they're pinning it. And that's not cool. My hook was not in a good position. But this thing it's pretty wicked, man. I've emailed the manufacturer numerous times to say, can you please make some more of this? You know, I just bought one to see how it would perform, to make sure I liked it. And I love it. Floating, completely floating. I have Huddleston rated fall zeros, and they never really float. They always like a very, very slow sink. This, you could just pause it, and it'll just stay there. And it's like a heavy float, just the fins stay out. But you have all that in a very subtle, very natural bluegill profile. Soft bluegill. Alright, let's see if we can get a topwater bite here. We got one subsurface on the real prey. Let's see if anybody's... I know they're willing to come up. I keep hearing the topwater explosions. How's that going? Man, does that itch. Alright, everybody. Just switching it up a little bit. Gonna try small. I'm hearing some explosions deep. Those are big explosions. I'm hearing some little things very shallow, just like within like 3 to 4 feet of the shoreline. Doesn't mean there can't be big fish moving up. Now, I don't think most are. I don't see any real bait fish. I don't see any fish cruising. But the time is right. The time of year, the water temp is just about there. So we're gonna just try downsizing a little bit here. This is the Steve's two-faced. What is this? I think it's called the waking shad. There goes another big explosion right there. That out in the middle, probably not a bass. That one there moved a lot of water. That was most likely a bass. Small or largemouth, we don't know, but that's what I'm talking about, these eruptions here on the outer tree line. getting still again. I'm going to downsize. Alright guys, back to the Sudarg. We had a little bit of chop before, but now we're very calm. So let's give it a go. Yeah, I mean, anything could happen. I sure hope I get a strike, but it seems like there was about a 2-hour feeding period. And again, I mean, I saw the fish that were coming up, and I heard and saw the fish that were hitting the surface. Is that every fish? No, right? There's going to be some fish that are getting that thing before it makes it to the surface, and there's going to be fish, you know, eaten in various ways. But if that really was a nice little feeding period, we might be in the lull now. And you guys know, if you fished a while, sometimes it's like hot and heavy, and then immediately afterwards it's like the worst, because for whatever reason that they collectively feed, they do, and then you gotta wait. Again, you can get, not every fish ate, but as a rule, after a feeding period, it's pretty darn slow. Tell me this ain't picture perfect back here. Trying to be quiet. I'm just not good at it. Got him. Got him. Ooh, what's a good one? Now he's got to fight the timber fight. Oh no, I've been here before. Wrapped. Stay on. Oh, this is horrible. Yes. Let's see, maneuver. Maneuver. Oh my goodness, this is the worst. Oh. You gotta live and die in it, man. I do this a lot, throwing these little wake baits in here. It's treacherous territory. You're gonna lose some. This one stayed pinned on the little size 4 hooks too. On the little size 4s. Yeah, baby. Yeah. That's a solid one. On the Sudarg, whatever you call it. Yeah, guys. Whew. I see that I'm backlit there. I'm going to change that for you. That's not a giant. I mean, that's probably like a 4 3/4. Let's change our angle a little bit. Woo! Look at that. I have her on one treble. One hook of the treble, kind of like skin hooked there. I mean, it's in there good, but oh, that was scary. I was thinking I was gonna lose this one. And all right, guys, better light. There we go. On the Sudarg. Good fish. Let me bring it in a little bit here. Nice. Whew. What are we doing here? Alright guys, here we go. So, got myself situated. I got my, make sure this is going. Got my measuring board there. Oh, look at that. She got me wrapped in a log. Good job, sister. Good job. Good at wrapping. So here we go. The Cal Coast donkey leash continues to work as advertised. And I got my measuring board set. I got everything. You know, I'll take a nice picture and yeah, just keep the fish in good shape until we're ready. Curious to see what she's weighing in at. She's heavy, man. It's heavy on my hand. On the Sudark. Good fish. All right, folks, here we go. Zeroed. Where's your glare? 0. I'm hearing some other fish crash the surface, so I want to see if I can find an even bigger one. What do we got? She's got the belly, that's for sure. Hooray! 5. Just 5-0. Almost 5-1. 5 7/8. Ready to go? Two 5s in a day. A smallie and a largemouth, man. You can't complain about that. Good stuff. Good stuff. Do I have any more time? I got 20 minutes. I got 20 minutes to fish. Let's see if we can get one more. On the pause, a little one. I was checking my trolling motor, trying to clear a piece of timber. I looked and I saw this one right behind it, and I just gave it a twitch. Alright guys, this is the other end of the spectrum. Little small one there on the Sudark. That was funny, I just saw the silhouette as I was looking down, trying not to hit any timber here. I don't want to go flying out of the boat. A little twitch is all it took. Alright guys, that's only a couple casts later, maybe like 5 casts later. Sorry for the backlighting. Little guy on the Sudark, following that 5-pounder. All I care about is that the activity level's up. And of course, I gotta get out of here. 10 minutes. Alright, let me slow down for a minute here, guys, and do a summary and bid you adieu. So first of all, thanks for hanging out and watching the video. Finally had a good day. I may have already mentioned, you know, I take off time, specifically I take off some days from work every year to go to this lake right here. Why? Because it's a known big fish producer. There's lots of other smaller places that I've fished over the years, and they have the capability, and I'm sure at any given time there's some pretty big fish in there. But my goal is not to get another 5, or the fish of today. It's awesome, but I'm looking for that 7, that 8. I mean, ideally I'd like to crack into that 9-pound fish one day. And first and foremost, you have to be on known producing bodies of water. I mean, you don't have to be, but otherwise that's a circumstantial fish. If you're fishing some little pond and you happen to catch, an 8-pound fish, it's a wonderful surprise, but you didn't know that fish was there. Everybody knows that fish of the 7, 8, and even some 9-pound fish are residents of this lake. So that's why I take off every year, guys, and I put in a good amount of time here. And I don't measure my success by, oh, it didn't happen this year. This is a long-term project. I mean, I'm looking for that 9-pound fish, like, sometime in my life. But hopefully in the next 5 years or something, as I get, learn a little bit more and kind of whittle it down a little bit each year, and hopefully it happens. But anyway, guys, so yeah, 2 5-pound fish in a day, the one matching my personal best smallmouth. I'm really, really stoked about that. And I never caught a 5-pound largie and a 5-pound smallie in the same day, so that's awesome. A lot of good stuff, I really wish I could stay later. The bite is on now. If I could stay throughout the night, I almost assuredly would get at least 1 or 2 more giant fish, but it is what it is. You got to be off this place by sunset. So, alas, I am heading in. But, so that's it, everybody. Hey, listen, I wish you all, guys, an incredible pre-spawn and spawn. I keep my eyes on the Instagram, and I see so many of you are getting lots of fish, a whole lot bigger than what I got today. So kudos to all of you, and everybody else. Hey man, enjoy the spring, tight lines, and thank you again for watching. Keeping it real fishing. Peace.